So everyone else is fixated on what the best Civ is in the game, but I really want to hone in on what really matters. Which Civ is the worst in the game? So we lined up a Golden Horde versus Abbasid matchup to start asking that important question. Oh, welcome back to the channel, folks. Yeah, it's an important question, actually. I just realized for some reason the overlay asset hasn't loaded, so we'll figure that out once. All right, there we go. We got you guys' UI. Yeah, so Golden Horde and Abbasid's kind of a weird one, right? Like, both these civs have not been highly desirable, although Abbasid's, I think they're good tempo. We've seen that. I mean, even got mentioned in the chat. Poppy Paw proved that, actually, in the EGC finals. Like, there are ways to leverage this civ. A lot of people think of it as a late game civ, but they're surprisingly effective for feudal timing situationally. This could be one of those times, you know, up against Golden Horde. Golden Horde, no doubt about it. You go to the late game, you know, even off the nerfs, there's some good power plays. However, there's also a very fair argument that the early game is still a giant struggle. It almost feels like you're prepping to play aggressive, and if your opponent doesn't participate in that, then you just can't really do anything. It's a weird civ. Like, I think, actually, a lot of the new civs kind of have this, right? Macedonians would be the other one that I see this with a lot. Is they require the participation ribbon, but if you ignore that, they really hate life. Myriad. How's the spawn looking? It's actually a pretty good one. I like this. Okay, so there's some hope here. I think, like, first thing you got to look at here is if Abbasid is going to try to aggro you, having both of the Uvu placements on the back is so powerful. Remember, this civ can have additional Uvus operational at any given time, and they will generate additional stone based on it per age. That's really important to keep in mind here. Like, that stone injection, getting it rolling early and secure, allows you to get these very powerful technologies that make Golden Horde feel like a gold tier civ. Vortex put Abba in A tier. Didn't he lose to them in the grand finals, though? So I can kind of, like, also see the logic there. I don't think I put Abba A tier. I feel like they're a B tier civ. I think they're B tier because, like, they're situational. I would not back Abba to be any civ, no. I think there's certain matchups where they are surprisingly effective because they stop some really, like, cheesy or popular strats. But, you know, if you're thinking civs that I would slot in anywhere, you know, it's not like a Byzantine type pick. It's not like a Japanese pick. It's not like an Ottoman pick. It's not like a Malian pick. The problem is, when they get bad matchups, they look like one of the worst things in the world. So it's going to be an eco-wing build. So, like, this is an example. Like, I mentioned Byzantines. If you've done this build up against Byzantines, I think it's very hard to pull off. We've seen multiple examples where it backfires easily. But against Myriad on the Golden Horde, I think you don't care. This stone placement, I guess you could... I don't think you TC drop out here. That's a bit risky. But with the way the tree lines are spawning here, you could TC drop the back side of the tree line and be really secure. Yeah, that's another thing we're playing on. What is it? Is it the tropical rainforest? This is a little bit weird, actually. Different biomes change how maps spawn. And you guys may have noticed that. We've cast one of these recently on high view. The tree lines don't ever spawn like this on like temperate and European. This is a weird thing that happens when you play different biomes. Now, my personal take about the biome detail, I think I don't mind that the map spawn differently if the game actually informed you of this. But the problem is, when you're loading into a pub game, you can't see what biome has been selected until you're on the loading screen. At which point, like, let's say I know I'm playing this map, the tree lines can be very different, and maybe because of that, they're worse for raids, which is a fair point with the concave. That means if I pick, say, Golden Horde, and I'm planning to go Tortugude raiding, I'm maybe in a worse position than if we played European Temperate. So yeah, I think they definitely need to change something there. Either they need to realign it so that spawns are consistent despite whatever biome you pick, or they need to make it so that before you even get into game, you know exactly what biome, not just what map you're playing. It's very silly that we've gone this many years with this being the case, actually. Because biome selection has been a thing for a long time. For those that don't know, when you play on the ladder, you would get one of 3 different biomes selected for your map. And they are preordained. The developers choose which biomes are viable for each map. So what's mirrored up to? It looks like we are going to get the Khan probably into Tortugude beginning, because he did go for the Khan and Tortugude's choice. Second Uvu already coming online, which is going to support him to just keep spamming those out. Beastie, second TC coming in momentarily. If he drops it on the stone, okay, it's free TC. Yeah. That's pretty much confirmed, isn't it? How did he do on sheep? 9 sheep here is not crazy, no? Mirrored has 16. So there is going to be a food problem for Beastie. I don't know if he tried to sneak out into this deer pack, but I think that would be impossible. With the Khan and Tortugu coming, that would be a death sentence. GH is really slow? Yeah. Even when they try to play aggressive, they feel slow because their production rates are slow. Remember, this is the Civ that has to produce in batch, meaning you wait double the time. You want to get some Keshiks out? That's a whole minute. Right? Like, I think it's cool to have this batch production idea, but also I would say simultaneously, did we not learn from Order of the Dragon? Because one of the big flagged points about Order of the Dragon, where they feel weird to play and can be disadvantaged, is you are essentially saving up double the resources to then wait even longer to produce a unit. That exact same problem is occurring here. And the weird thing is the devs were somewhat aware of it because they did make the town center produce workers quicker. 37 instead of 40 seconds. But on the flip side, they allowed this situation. Maybe it'd be more complicated, but my mindset would be it would make more sense to change Golden Horde so that you could queue up one of a unit, but you could queue up 2 of a unit. And if you queue up 2 of a unit, it 1.5x's like the time required or something like that. Like, this isn't a perfect solution, but I'm spitballing this whole idea that you could batch queue. A bit like what Age of Empires 3 had. Because Age of Empires 3 had this where you could start queuing units and it would have like 40 seconds till that unit produces. But then you could queue up to 4 more units, but it would come up at the same time. But the problem with that, like in AoE 4, I think that would be kind of imba if you were able to like last second add in others and have them pump out. But the idea of like having an alternate version where you can choose to single queue or double queue, I would quite like. I don't know, it's a weird one. Like, there is an argument once Golden Horde do get going with their batch production, they get insane. But, like, we're usually talking about the triple batch production. That is indeed when it gets ridiculous. Miro just maxing out the Tortugu. Also, did go for an early stockyard, by the way. I think this is going to become increasingly more popular. It feels like the pasture strategy, but even better, I want to say. It just feels so efficient, man. Like, 250 wood sounds like a lot. I think the only issue with this strat is, like, you will have to move out here. That's the only negative of going for an early stockyard, is that you need to actually get additional wood, because there's 250 wood for this alone. But once you get these people in position, they're never moving. They've got a gathering rate that's actually more impressive than standard sheep. Quite quickly in the game. You know, when you add in the fact that they practically don't move to drop off, like it's just ticks every box imaginable. And because it's 250 wood compared to 300 wood for farms that would cover 4 workers, it's a damn good deal. It's even better than you realize because, like, normally as the game goes on, you're going to have to add in a mill for your farms. You don't have to do that with stockyards. By the way, Beastie, interesting TC placement in the end. I guess he just wanted to create more protection towards the gold and the secondary TC. So he's just created the defensive triangle. It could have been better being here, but if he put on the gold, he actually wouldn't have good protection for the second TC he built. Yeah, so pretty much just layering like 8 stronger together type logic. Myriad now bulking up archers. Really wants to look for that blacksmith timing if he's doing what I think he's doing here, which is all-in assault. Which makes sense against free TC. You know, you could either try to tech ahead and play relic rush or try to all-in. I feel like we're past the point where you can just tech ahead in time. 14 villagers lead is crazy. That's free TC, baby. Doot, doot. Remember, he also gets discounts. He's free TC, but he's spending as much on his villager production, actually less than you would spend on 2 TC while being on free. Because you're spending 90 food per rotation of each town center, whereas on 2 TC you spend 100. This is where Abbasids are technically meant to be strongest, is when they can get away with the TC greed. Problem is, at pro level, it's become increasingly difficult to do. Said, Torgood haven't really been able to stop it. No textiles, maybe a little bit too greedy from Beastie. Spinman will turn Myriad. His archers aren't here. Torgood is shifting to the south side. One of them already got sniped out in this area, though. And he is also adding in Keshik, so that's pretty smart. We see that a lot right now from Golden Horde players. Torgood themselves, not very good killers. Keshik are. They're 50% higher damage. But they have substantially less health. So the whole idea is kind of like playing men-at-arms plus spears against archers. You're littering in these premium units with these squishy units. The idea is meant to be that, like, you know, it's not as much about damage absorption as it is for men-at-arms. It's more about I can actually kill things with this. These archers kind of late to arrive, no? Farm count is getting a lot better for Beast. He's definitely not out of the woods yet. Has got Steel Down in the way. Very smart here with the free TC triangle. The food is becoming a bigger and bigger crucial problem here. It looks like it's going to be a sneak out. Myriad, he brought everything together. Beastie was waiting for this moment. Yeah, I mean, Myriad, he in some ways had the right idea. He blocked the berry plant on the left side. But now he should have giant question marks about where his opponent's getting food. Problem is, there's so much food on the south side, he has to kind of camp it. But it might be worth killing 1 or 2 troopers just to go check these resources. That's the thing. You know, fresh food stuffs might make Abbasid very lean on their food usage. They still need food. They still need a thing for the workers to do. So when you're playing against these ultra greedy plays, that's the thing you got to think about. Maybe not so much if you're a low rank player, because low rank players more often will go for farms anyway. But pro level, even with the discounts from Fertile Crescent, massing out farms can kill you. Look at this for a killing blow. Myriad jumps in. Pins and kills a few workers off. Has now blocked out the wood gathering entirely. Also does have Keshiks waiting on the left side. But he doesn't quite see this. It's going to be a straggler tree strategy. And Beastie, by the skin of his teeth, is going to get away with it. That's unbelievable. He sees him as well. So he knows that Myriad is parked here. But Myriad... Oh my god, no. Come on. Just a little bit further over. Keshik's going to pull away now. Gets the bird on the east side. Things are ramping up nicely, but keep in mind, Beastie has still got a lot of food gathering out here. 10 on the deer. Fully unharassed. Spinman going to chase away the Keshiks. He's getting the straggler trees. Relic Uvu's now on the way for Myriad, however. Even has the timing for the rotation grazing. I think that's maybe like one thing in hindsight is, would Myriad have been better off just straight up playing into deers and boars for this strat? Because I know I said that the stockyard's really nice, but that's like when someone has cavalry. But technically, Beastie didn't have cavalry at first. He only had spears. Beastie's setting up even more Raxes. Technically, with just mass archers, Myriad can deal with most of the army at this pace. Nice intercept on the berries. Heavy Cav's going to go for the charge in. Just keeping that count down. Now remember, he's playing Relic Uvus, which means he can get insane stone gen if he rushes those relics. Yeah, there's a good timing in mind here for Myriad. Love to see him just starting to like stockpile the stone now. Free TC Abba, right? Like, when was the last time you saw someone do this? Even with Eco Wing, usually people stop it too. I feel like you have to go back to pre-Camel Archer nerfs for this. Another burn being found. It's just kind of a shame Golden Horde don't get paid for this, right? Would that be broken? I don't feel like it would be busted if they got bounty, though. Like, don't let them have improved bounty, but it's kind of weird they get no bounty at all. Myriad 10 seconds out from Relic Evus. Beastie is prepping for his own castle play now. Has got enough spinman to feel fairly safe. Like, yes, the archers will be strong for a direct fight, but Myriad will be reluctant to dive the base because even if he vets the archers up, it's still an unarmored unit underneath the town center. I'm gonna burst the bubble for you guys. I don't know if you know this, but the veteran archers cannot be a town center. Someone's gonna be like, not with that attitude, just rolls up their sleeves. No, that guys, they basically should not win. They do. You've let a lot of archers die to achieve that. Like a lot. Wait, is Mirad even gone for the relics yet? I don't think he has. Okay. Horseman also getting a raid in. I mean, BC's finding trickle damage, folks. Oh my god. 7 worker kills so far. Myriad. He needs a more solid answer and fast. Going through on the second TC, but the torch armor makes it a lot slower. Veteran CD just kicking for the archers. Is it me or does Myriad not have much of a military lead? No, and now the dive comes in, and this is what I was worried about. If BC target fires the archers, it's easy kills. Clarify what we get. Burn through onto the third town center. Horsemen are still raiding! Oh my god, BC, he's getting such insane value off a small group of ponies. Out of time being achieved. Burn is going to be successful on this third TC. So Beastie, now if he loses workers, it actually matters. Beastie still hasn't even started the castle up. It definitely feels like Myriad gave over a lot more than he should. Beastie essentially evened out the worker kill count there. 14 to 19. Now the clash. Spearmen, they go in with the Phalanx tech. Cav. Oh my god, they just get melted. Phalanx is a hell of a difference here. Archers should eventually win out. Beastie takes a lot of the truly threatening cavalry with him. I feel like killing the Batu Khan's a cheat code as long as it's Tortugu. Just keep switching the damage over. So despite the fact that like Myriad looks like he took a really good fight, the problem now is he doesn't have anything to dive the primary town center with. He has, however... Okay, there's a full fight. Yeah, this might take a while. He's still raiding. Okay, so like in Mira's defense, I will say, and I don't know if anyone else has felt this, I feel like one thing I hate about stockyards is they feel really annoying to micro around with your workers, like seeking shelter and then like microing them onto them again. Also, I don't know, like subconsciously you feel like they should be safe watching this little enclosure thing, but they're not. So more damage done there. Beastie maintaining a 40+ worker lead. The bigger problem here, folks, is Myriad still hasn't got a single relic. No, which is a really big problem here for the relic Uvu strat to make sense. I mean, you are getting more stone by default by picking that landmark. You're missing out on so much stone gen that could allow for this men-at-arms strat to truly flourish. Yeah, because remember, if he gets up to the 950 mark, you get batch production. You get batch production, you get a whole extra men-at-arms per circulation for free. You went Relic Uvu? Yep. Which also has made this like weirder now that he's at men-at-arms diving a base, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, like actually, if he had gone for the armor, Beastie's outpost defense doesn't work. Because right now he's doing 7 damage. Your men-at-arms, I think they got 6 armor, so they're fine there actually. Like, I guess it should be fine. Maybe that's why Mirai didn't think it was worth it. Because he's like, if I'm going to get ranged armor too, it's good enough. Like, I defend... No, I think he made the right move. It's just a shame that he's only now going for relics. Army going to get mopped up. Horseman around the back. Find practically all archers. There's only men-at-arms left. Still, if he can start picking up relics, there's a way here for Murad. Armor 1 gives you wood. That's true, but like to defend it another way, you did immediately get an extra 24 stone a minute. It's nowhere near as high as the wood income for sure, but if you now get the relics, it's a huge boon. In fact, has he gone for the third? Yeah, okay, so it's extra 36. He's already got an extra 36 stone a minute. And like, it's what do you weigh more? Like, if you're going for an all-in kill point straight away, definitely can see the logic behind must be Yasak, the armor. But if you think the game's going to drag a bit further, The stone gen is crazy. Because you've got to remember, Golden Horde's strongest plays all are hidden, locked behind stone generation. PC still distracting trees over here, man. Yeah, the problem is this front tree line. Like, you never feel safe going for it. And he's actually going camel archers now, which can be a good answer to men-at-arms. Now, this is where having Must Be Yasak would have made sense. Because camel archers have 12 base. Oh, sorry, 11 base, and then they've got the +1. So now your armor could have benefited substantially. He would have been up to 8 armor. Military wing also on the way from Beastie. The relic game, what are we looking at so far? Has he pulled any back? Myriad? Oh, no. Please tell me we remembered that we... Alright, guys, this is looking pretty bad. If he immediately deploys all the relics and gets batch production, maybe. But it's not. Raiding the farms. We'll find a few workers. Just kind of feels like Myriad has fatigued himself out here, though, on these pushes. The triple outpost really has screwed the pooch for him. And it just kind of feels like he's lost track of things, really. Like, the monk timing, I wonder if he could have got it in a lot earlier and how different the game would have looked if while he was diving the base, he was picking 5 relics. And there's a cool strat here. Yeah, he's doing it now. Like, just drop them straight away. Don't walk them back home. Just build them here, move around the map, deploy them. Because then you get that huge injection of stone. But this has been anything but fast. Like, bro, can you move? Like, just jobs? Oh, God. Yeah, guys, I think Beastie's probably going to stay in the back. Myriad needs to make a move fast. He has now gone to Rams. There is kind of a growing feeling of, like, would this have been good if we just done it several minutes ago instead? You know? Because if he had just 2 Rams on that dive previously, you know, he pretty much had dealt the spears. There was still horsemen, I guess, so it wouldn't have been the easiest, but like it would have been a way of dealing with these torch-resistant outposts. Because remember, it's not just like the 5 fire armor, it's 10 fire armor due to the House of Wisdom. That's actually what makes Abbasid outpost defenses so toxic. If you can't build a ram, you just can't kill them. Right in the base now. Cam Archer plus Spearman to defend. And he's got new horsemen springing out as well, which is going to draw away from the frontline hold. Or you have to lose the archers. Either way, a big negative here. Myriad, I feel like we're just not getting it. Another wave gets pushed back. The new wave rallying across feels like it's going to be slow. Casual raid on the flank is at least good. I mean, you know, it's not like there's a cajillion workers out here deforesting the area that we could kill. They've been working so hard to get rid of stealth forests. This right here is the anti-stealth forest coalition. It's kind of fun to watch free TC Abba win with 0 food. Is that fun? That when you say it like that, it sounds depressing. I guess if you're an Abbasid main, it sounds fun. You know, like, if we're being totally real, Abba mains in 2025 are freaks. I'm sorry, like, whoa, like, okay, like, I'm not shaming you. But you have to be into some crazy stuff to like be sticking with Abba in 2025, you know? That's like being an Ipswich Town Football Club fan in 2024 made sense, but then in 2025 you gotta have something wrong with it, you know? You know, that's like saying you buy Call of Duty games for the campaign. Ayo, okay. I actually did like some of the campaigns a long time ago. No, you know what? That's like saying you bought Fortnite for the single player mode. Yeah, there you go. That's the weirdo one. We found it. All right, BC is pretty chill mode now. He's gone back for an extra TC on the fat tree line. Wall's already up. Nami on the march. Gulam mass here as well. And Murad, Men-at-Arms can trade recently into Gulam. The problem's going to be crossbow. It's just not looking like a game where Murad can keep up. And now he's finally resorting to upgrading and including Karash in the coming moments. He also just went for the Karash Edict, which I get the idea. Just bodies for the fight. But you have to fight. Crash comes through. Mira's front line. Definitely not going to hold on as long as Beastie. Snipes come through on the Relic Avarice as well. Even losing some workers now. Good block out actually from the one-man-arms on the gold line. So wave number 1 of the Abbasid Apocalypse seems to be successful. Probably won't need the wave number 2, but send him anyway. Oh my god, even a few horsemen wrap around the back. So now Mirad in full retreat. Yeah, this is a little bit weird actually. He never switched over to the fortified outpost. It's easy to forget, but guys, when you're defending near an outpost like that, you want to be toggling into defensive aura. Defensive aura is pretty strong. He did get 5 Karash instead, but he could have had 10% more health on that full line, which would have made it a lot harder for Beastie to break. Beastie now going to retreat. Rams to follow. Gulam mass continues. We do at least see relics now making their way home. Finally. We had to wait a little bit. A biggity bit. But Mirad now has, what, 3 relics in his purview? Yeah. No, well, kind of. He actually needs to plug them first. Mirad, unfortunately, just isn't on the same level as Beastie. That's a bold thing to say, considering Beastie only just beat him in the KPM map. That series was a 5-game series, folks. Beastie won 3-2. So Mirad can. Like, the thing you have to keep in mind, though, is this is just a very unusual civ in many ways. It's still being discovered. Both of them are kind of rediscovering what they do. Myriad forced to defend again. Batu Khan is gone though, so that's going to be a lack of damage buff as the fight continues on. Going to make it much harder to try and hold this. Beastie just going to try to brute force his way through now. He does have the boot camp, remember, so very tanky by comparison. That does look like the killing blow. I can't believe this, man. Like, it's 30 minutes in. You think about how most of this game went. I think, Murad, this is the time of the game that, like, you want to review to improve, right? Instead of just running off as Beastie, there's a few things. Obviously, the Relic Uber's choice into the delay on even picking up relics was a big deal with Golden Horde. I think the other thing is the relentless dives. Like, what are you diving for there? But, you know, even earlier than that, he had the right idea, but maybe in the wrong place. Like, he wasn't blocking out these deer. This sneak on the stealth forest is pretty rough. I think it's always this very polarizing map for people to adjust to. Like, most players, when they play attacker, prefer to just play raiding and not all in for that very reason. But props to the effort. In the end, though, and I can't believe I'm saying this at the end of 2025, Abbasid free TC is pretty lit.